Extreme Collectibles here, and it is that time of the month again. It is the last day of June, so we're going to look back at everything that I purchased in June. This is why I went broke in the month of June. And I want to preface this with the fact that I really wanted to practice restraint. I gave myself a budget, which I don't. Ironically, a few months ago there was a Facebook discussion of people who claim they don't have a budget for statues are lying. My name's not even Mr. X. I lie about everything. But I tried to set a budget, and I did it off number of pieces, and I did 10. And usually, as you guys know, I go over my budget. I didn't go over my budget this month. I destroyed it and then lit it on fire and then pissed on it and then buried it and then started making sweet love to it. So let's look at why I went broke in June, and this is going to be a long one. That's what she said. Extreme Collectibles here with our monthly segment. We are the last day of the month, and we look back. When I say we, I mean me and you, because we're like this. It's going to be a crazy video today. We look back at the last month, and we look at everything I purchased. And I'm going to do the format a little bit differently to kind of sort it out. I've actually categorized it. Another Joker's moment in Practical Jokers. I would put the video in here, but I got banned for copyright issues last time, even though I was promoting them. So who knows? But my favorite show in Practical Jokers, there's a scene that it doesn't matter. It takes too long to tell. But I kind of categorized the different items that I purchased. Some of these items, as a reminder, are ones that I purchased and I've already received. Some of these I've already reviewed, so you may have seen that. But it was sometime in the month of June 2019. Some of them are ones that are newer pieces I just purchased and received. Some are older pieces that I've been looking for. Some were older pieces I was not looking for. Some are new pieces that came up for PO that will be released in anywhere from 4 to 30 months, depending on that nature. And I've kind of categorized it based on that, with few exceptions. And as I said before in the intro, I shamefully went nuts. I did really, really bad this month because the market is so saturated and everybody's looking to get rid of shit. So hopefully that doesn't bite me too bad, but let's get rolling. And this first category that we're going to talk about are pieces that are already on the market. So they're existing pieces. They may have been out for 1 month. They may have been out for 10 years, but they were already in collectors' hands. So the very first one, you guys know about this, is the Sideshow Rogue Maquette exclusive. Purchased this based off of a couple of the other reviews that were out there. It's just a fantastic statue. I have a video about this statue on my channel, and it's not necessarily a review, it's kind of a Q&A, so go check that out, kind of neat. Another one I reviewed and I actually bought from Gem Mint is the XM Studios quarter scale Electro statue. So I've reviewed this. You guys haven't seen the review yet. I have it posted for a later time. This is so cool. I added it to my Spidey collection, which is directly behind me. When it flashes, the camera flashes back to me. And along with that, I was, as most people know, I was looking for XM Studios quarter scale Storm, and I was able to nab her for kind of a ridiculous price, but it wasn't too bad. For $1,500, I think is what I nabbed her for. And I did film the review, I just haven't aired it yet. But a very, very cool piece to go with my X-Men, which, as you guys know, my X-Men is going to be my biggest collection. Another one the review has aired is I found my Rail Iron Studios quarter scale Darth Vader piece. This one I've been looking for a long time, and this was way more impressive in person. Couldn't be more satisfied with this. And I also got him at a killer deal, close to retail, believe it or not. Another one I just recently unboxed, but I didn't review because I've had some issues back and forth between my office this week, is Prime One's Anti-Venom. This is only the collector's edition because I got it under retail, which was pretty cool because it doesn't come up too often, and I don't care for the exclusive face, but it's a phenomenal piece, part of my Venom collection, which is about 15 Venoms between what I have and what I have on order. Another one I added to my horror collection, because I have Jason and Freddy, is Leatherface. Quarter scale, premium format from Sideshow Collectibles. I do like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's probably my fourth favorite between Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th, but he pairs out that those four people awesome, because I do have a custom quarter scale Mike Myers on order. Another one, which I'm kind of pissed at, I bought on eBay for a hell of a steal, is the Sideshow Ultron Comiquette exclusive, the Throne edition, to add to my awesome Throne collection. He's going to go right next to Thanos and Loki, kind of an Avengers Throne theme. I'm pissed because FedEx doesn't know how to use a GPS. 2 days in a row, they said no one was at the delivery location as we were at the delivery location, so they're not even attempting to make the delivery. Another one I got for a steal, Sideshow Sentinel Maquette. I'm actually going to film the review later today or tomorrow. Really excited about this piece. Again, add it to my X-Men wall. I've been really hesitant to pull the trigger. He's been out for years, but I didn't want to pull the trigger because I have all these X-Men vs. Sentinel pieces, so the scale will be incredibly off. So if I don't like it, I got a great deal on it. I'll resell it for what it cost me. And my last one I'm very hesitant on, but I pulled the trigger because of Bronx video. Appreciate him shooting out that video, is the quarter scale Shredder from the 1990s movie from NECA. I call it NECA. I have Prime One's 1990s Turtles and their new Bebop and Rocksteady and Splinter on the way, so I have a giant turtle set up. So I'm kind of worried about this because this is more of an action figure, almost like a hot toy, but it's quarter scale, which is interesting because I actually ordered a quarter scale hot toy, which we're going to talk about. So we'll see how it looks with everything. It's really cheap considerably, not for an action figure, but for a statue. And I watched some other reviews online, and it's very true to that character, and I loved him in the 1990s movie. So that is a lot of items that I ordered that were pre-existing, and we haven't even gotten to the bulk of this. We're only about 25% done. So you can see I really made love to this new purchases this month. So let's move on. Next category, everyone is kind of aware that the bust scene is going crazy. Not this bust scene, even though this is pretty nice. But life-size busts are going out of control. If you haven't checked out my Extreme theater room tour, it shows most of my life-size busts, and then I have some at my office. I have a Spider-Man Venom Carnage trio, life-size bust, and then I have horror sci-fi busts actually right over there. And I'm going horror villain on that wall. So I pulled the trigger on a shitload of busts, and I'm really excited. And let's look at the first one. Queen Studios Joker. I got this below retail. I assume people are anticipating the new Heath Ledger busts that are coming out will be cheaper or will be better, so the value of this will lower. That's a big gamble for either way. I don't know if that's true or not. If this one is better than the past, then the value will shoot way up. But I was able to get it less than retail, so I thought I'd gamble. And kind of along, he's such an iconic villain, so excited. But another iconic villain that I pulled the trigger on is the Queen Studios Thanos bust from Avengers. I was really, really hesitant, but he's just phenomenal. And I have a bunch of Thanos pieces and a bunch of Thanos pieces on order, but I think he'll look great on the villain wall. And along with that, when they announced that Loki was getting a helmet, I pulled the trigger immediately. He looks so cool, but the helmet really puts it over the edge. So it is confirmed 100% that he will have an optional helmet. It's just like $100, $200 more. Look phenomenal with all the villains on the wall in my theater room. Also, I was lucky enough to nab an Infinity Studios Wonder Woman. Everyone said, wait for Sideshow, wait for Sideshow. I didn't have a lot of faith they would go up on Sideshow. I figured they would sell out because this isn't a statue collector's market. There are so many people that want this because it's more of a mannequin type, and it can go in comic book stores and movie theaters. So I was able to get one of her. Very excited. And another one I pulled the trigger on, another ECC bust, I have a few of them, is the Guyver Lisker, which I don't know a ton about the character, but I think this just looks creepy and badass, and yeah, it's just cool. And it for an ECC bust, it was considerably cheap. It was $1,200, I think. Another one, not really a bust, but it falls in this category. I did the review on this recently, actually aired yesterday or the day before. The Jack of the Dust Black Melting Skull. Very, very cool piece. Go check out my review on that. And another one I ordered that's coming in August, I believe, is another Jack of the Dust. It's this Redback Spider Skull. Be my third Jack of the Dust piece. And that one will actually go next to my Venomized Skull and my Venom bust that I have at my office. So those are my busts, and we're only halfway done. So let me just address the elephant in the room. Has an elephant ever been in a room and nobody talked about it? I don't know why that expression. Have you ever Googled why old expressions exist? Some of them are pretty cool, like mind your P's and Q's. That's because old typewriters didn't have those letters or something along those relation. Same thing, or maybe that was dot your T's and cross your I's. Or wait, reverse that. Cross your T's and dot your I's was because old typewriters wouldn't do that. So after you type it up, you'd have to manually do that with ink. But the elephant in the room, I'm gonna run out of money. I'm gonna run out of space. Try me. That's all I'm gonna say. Next, I want to get into the POs that I made, POs that I purchased for licensed pieces. So these are POs that may have just been released this month or they were released a while ago, and the products are not out yet. So they'll come out anywhere from the next 2 months to the next 30 months. And some of them I was on the fence about, which is why I didn't buy right away. And a lot of POs I buy day one. So these are licensed POs that I purchased in the month of June. First is the Hot Toys I was talking about. It's a quarter scale Vader. I wanted this because I wanted a Vader that had different options, and there are so many different options with this guy. I'm really excited about it. I have 2 other Vaders, and I may get rid of one when they come, but we'll see. See how this turns out. Another one, I did pull the trigger on Iron Studios Endgame Thanos. I do have Iron Studios Infinity War Thanos. One of those will not survive, so we'll figure that out. Another one, I have a big Avengers collection, and I need a Scarlet Witch, so I got XM Scarlet Witch. I saw some updated photos. This one was probably an impulse buy I may actually regret, but we'll see how it looks, and it's way off anyway, so. XM Sabretooth, this will be my 4th Sabretooth, I think, and I loved him growing up. He was one of my favorite villains. I love XM stuff, and I tried to resist and I couldn't. Another one to go with my large 1/3 DC scale from Prime 1. As you guys know, I have about 15 of those and about 15 more coming. Super Sons, Superboy and Robin. Really excited about this piece. It's probably a year and a half, 2 years away, but very, very cool. I also was able to nab one of the Attack on Titans from Figurama. I vowed I'd never buy from Figurama again because I bought their Devil Man vs. Anon, and the piece is one of the best pieces I've ever seen, sculpted by Caleb. So is this one, but their customer service really needed improvement, and it wasn't malicious customer service. They just didn't have things organized. But this piece is amazing. I had to buy it. This one actually shouldn't be in here now that I'm looking at it, and it should have been in the bus section. I had a buddy who was going to cancel it and lose his no reserve deposit. So I told him I'd pick it up for him because I saw Lewis's video and I thought it looked phenomenal. I liked it before the repaint, but I just thought it was awesome. So I told him I'd pick it up for him, so I put my credit card information into his Sideshow account. I really trust him. There's not many people I trust that much. And Sideshow canceled the order because they thought it was fraud. So I still don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to keep it or not. But it looks cool. But I would get this to put on my villain wall. I keep my other one at my office, and the custom one I have at my office, and this one I would keep at my villain wall. So I'll have to decide what I'm going to do with that. I did pull the trigger this week on Spider-Man Premium Format by Sideshow, the brand new one. I don't like the head, but I like the rest of it a lot. I originally was getting XMs. I actually had it on order, and then they completely changed the design. I like the original design with Scorpion's tail and all that before they changed it. So I like this one better, and it's a lot more affordable. Then I have 5 Court of the Dead pieces, so this will be my 6th one. that at my office I have kind of that fantasy night theme. This one looks incredible. A lot of drama about the PVC. Hey man, to me, as long as PVC is more expensive, people don't understand that in smaller quantities, like an ES of 1,000 or 2,000. But and it's lighter, and it is more possible to break, but they'll replace it for you in theory. So lots of drama going on with that. So thanks for hanging in there. We're not done yet. Next is we have 2 more categories to go over. Can you believe it or not? But this next one are custom POs, which this is my biggest category. I told you it was going to be a lot. You didn't believe me. But so these are custom POs. Again, they're ones that were just released, or they were released a while ago, and I was able to pull the trigger. I bought it off somebody. I get a lot of solicitations. Hey, bro. I'm everyone's bro. Kind of like Dick Ryder. Do you want to buy this off me? Blah, blah, blah. And I don't always say yes. For the record, I resisted XM Colossus this week. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do because it looks awesome. But I have a fastball, and then I have a custom Colossus coming. So the one ripping apart the Sentinel head, not the one from the Wolf Slayer, obviously, but a different one. So let's jump into the custom POs. First is a Crossbones. This guy looks awesome. I got this PO off someone else, and I am so excited about this. He ships actually in the next few weeks. He's going to go with my Captain America Secret Empire. It's the perfect pairing for both of those. That's where Captain America's an enemy. I actually have a review on Captain America Secret Empire. Go check that out. Super stoked about this one. Another one, I have a Masters of the Universe line, and I have Sideshow's He-Man, and I don't like it, so I will sell that. But here's a custom quarter-scale He-Man and Battle Cat. These are very true to the original Masters of the Universe, so I am so excited. What you see here, there's actually 2 torsos. The other one is he's lifting the sword up, saying, I have the power. So I'm stoked about this one. Another one to add to my Throne collection, Predator on Throne. I don't really talk about my Predator and Alien pieces too much, but I have a lot of them, and I have a lot more coming. I love Predator, I love Alien, and it's a Throne piece, so I could not say no. And the affordability on this for the price, but it's a Chinese company, so I'm a little worried, but we'll see how it turns out. Next, these were teased in some groups, is a Wolverine / Deadpool statue. So first, you're seeing the red one here. So you can display this as Wolverine wearing Deadpool's statue where he just killed Deadpool, or you can display this as Deadpool making fun of Wolverine. So lots of different things going on. I actually bought 2 of them. I bought one that was red, who I'm going to display as Wolverine just killed Deadpool, and then there's a gray variant that I'm going to display, and I'm going to display it with Deadpool using the silverware in his hands making fun of Wolverine. Display both of those. It's by an awesome custom company. Another one by my favorite sculptor, Franco. He came out with a Wolverine yellow suit. I rarely pass on Wolverine Francos. There was one, and I do semi-regret it, but I gotta have some restraint. Excited about that one. Another one to add to my big Star Wars villain, if you've been watching those Star Wars episodes, is a custom Gamorrean Guard. Quarter scale, of course. I think all these are quarter scale for the most part. A lot cheaper than the Mythos one, which is 1/5 anyway, and costs $1,500 to $2,000. Going to be replacing my Sideshow Green Goblin with this guy, custom. This is becoming one of my favorite custom groups. I mean, I don't have any pieces in hand, but I actually get one this month. I get their Venom. But anyway, I have, I think, all their pieces ordered. Very cool. Another one, this is one somebody reached out to me, said, hey, you want to buy this off me? So I bought it pretty much for retail and shipping, is the Phoenix Force Cyclops. I don't have any of the other Phoenix Force statues, but this one actually arrives next week, so the review will be hitting pretty quick here in the next day or 2. Really, really cool piece. I have another Storm that I'm going to kind of battle against the XM. This is by the same group that did my Beast and Cyclops that I reviewed. So we'll see. I'm not a big fan of the portraits yet on this, but I know some of the other pieces I was a bigger fan once it came out, so we'll see what happens there. Also, just a few hours ago, I pulled the trigger on a custom quarter scale Banshee vs. Sentinel to go with my X-Men. I don't like the character Banshee. I think he's a pussy. But they sculpted this like he was a badass. Look at this. This is incredible. I'm super stoked about this piece. Probably one of my most excited ones. And then the last custom one is a dragon. I have 5 or 6 dragons. This is Sindragosa. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's kind of an ice dragon. And you see it next to Sideshow, Deathwing. I think that's what it's called right here, which I do have. So he'll actually sit right next to him. This is what it'll look like. So I went through those customs, and you guys know we don't share where customs come from. And one of the other things too, I'm especially not sensitive, that's the right word, but considerate to custom groups. So I will never share custom information unless it's been posted in public areas. So with that being said, there are 2 other pieces that there has been no public posts about, but they are in the custom groups and I did purchase. So I can't show any pictures, so I'll do some poses. So the first one is a quarter scale Batman statue. It's a museum pose, so he probably won't have his hands up like that. And this next one might be incredibly difficult, but it's a custom quarter scale Mr. Fantastic statue. So I just grew something else. But that's it. Finally, we made it through. Woo! So I'm going to preface this. July starts tomorrow. 8 is my budget. I'm going to do it. I'm going to hold strong, and I'm in town all day. 8 is my budget. Hold me to it. Really appreciate you guys watching. And again, my favorite part of doing these segments, what did you purchase in the month of June? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Take care.